It's good because people on
Right.
the screen.
Thank you.
Hey, Jennifer,
Yes.
once this all gets approved, or even after we do the next one forever, or for the next time frame, can we go visit the website and see where that we find that stuff at?
Yeah, we have, but the old one is.
Okay.
Yeah, we keep trying to get time to sort of make it a little simpler to get out, and we just haven't had the time to sit down with our website people and get be able to do that in a sort of concentrated burst. So that is the plan, is to make those many things a little easier to navigate. But it's part of the problem is some of this stuff is in more than one place, so it can get confusing as to where it ultimately should be.
10:30, we'll get started on this month's Transportation Technical Committee. Welcome everybody, EGIF and people on the screen. Thank you for joining. We have a quorum installed by Jan, so we'll go ahead and get started. So item number 3, because we just got number 2. Item number 3, public comments. I haven't collect any for the express any interest in public comments. I see.
As per usual, nothing requested.
Okay,
in order to
alright.
hand over.
Good. Not good, but yeah. That we keep moving on to item number 4. As for the approval of minutes of April 22nd meetings. Questions, comments? You got a chance to review the comments that Jen sent out. Okay, Terry making motion for approval, second. Okay, Ryan. All those questions, comments? All those in favor?
Ray?
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Great, Tom Caldwell. I did notice, big deal, but I think, given, they had listed Doug DeLilly, who is an MPO manager in our office, but I don't think he was at the meeting. I think it was Robert Ennis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so anyway.
I don't have
We're
it listed.
recognizing Bob as being in the minutes.
Let's see.
Bob, were you there in April? I don't remember. We can't tell from our recording.
Actually, no, I wasn't there.
Okay.
Doug did sit in for me. I was off that day.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay, all
All
right.
right. I'll
Thank
clear
you.
that up. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually, we initially thought, and then we thought he was, but then we look at our notes, that he wasn't. But thanks for bringing that up though, Tom. Yeah. Anybody else questions? Okay, so we have a motion and second for approval of the minute. I'll say hi. Like we did that already. Hi. Sorry again. Opposed? No? Okay. Approval. From items number 5 through 15, these all amendments is unusual. We have this many, but it's because it's getting towards the end of the current fiscal year for the state, and we can just for the sake of time. I don't know if I first will maybe ask IDOT, maybe Bob or Dan, you could kind of explain, one by one, and then we'll see if any questions. Then we can take up the vote either as a group or separately. How's that?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, on the amendments that IDOT submitted on Y089, the funding was changed. Funding source was changed to state only, so it's not using any federal funds. That's state only on the PE portion. It was already state only on land acquisition. Okay, then on SP 2022, I split it into a -1 and -2. because, part of the bridges on it was one project, but part of the bridges are within the metropolitan planning area and part of them aren't. So I got split which is which, and then we had a change in the amounts. Okay, on J043, we had a change in amounts, and the changes, the amounts have been increased. And then J043-2 through J043-5, it was all land acquisition that was brought in for along Illinois 9. And I don't know exactly why they broke those into separate steps instead of putting it all under J043, but it's all associated with that project. The amounts changed. Let's see, CM 2023-1, the amount changed. And then on D5GR 2023, that is going to be on this June's lighting. So we wanted to get it, go ahead and add it. Let's stay on my funding. Excuse me. I think that's all of them, isn't it, Jennifer?
Yeah,
Okay,
Jen, can I ask a question?
sure.
On the first one with Amendment 20?
Yeah.
It says state only amended, but in the columns, I'm looking at the spreadsheet, in the columns, it shows a federal amount in there. Is that
It shows the one.
right there? It shows a federal amount. See that right?
Yep.
It says state only, but it shows a federal amount in there.
right.
So I think that's an error.
I think that might have been changed. Just get that.
I got an extra copy anybody interested.
The federal shell.
Just the source.
Yeah, but right, but it shouldn't say, it shouldn't have a federal amount in there anymore.
Oh, yes. You're right, Kevin.
That's what I'm saying, it's, minor detail, but.
That was the other catch.
We
Yeah.
can fix that.
The amounts, so that state and federal should just be
It's
shown
state, yeah,
under state.
yeah.
Got it.
I figured that was the case, but it didn't jive, so.
Yeah, so would the state be 125,000? Or just still staying at 25?
No, the state would be 800,000
Oh, okay.
because it's all state now.
I believe it should still be a total of 800,000.
Yeah.
But it's just all state.
Yeah, exactly. So in other words, this and this is 800,000, so that
Oh,
should be zero and that should be 800,000.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, very good catch. Anybody questions, comments, on any of the items?
I was about that. This is James. I was about to ask the same question. I pulled it up and just wanted to. I was going to ask that question. So
Okay, good, yeah. So we will add that, so we will
Yeah.
have that modified to be no federal portion contribution for this one, but then that amount will be moved over to be added to the 160,000 with the state, and that would still total to 800,000. All right, so there's amendments on that. Any other questions on the other projects, items, amendments? Okay. Let me ask-
I got
sorry,
one.
go ahead.
sorry, this is James again. Just to make sure I'm still learning a little bit of this, but up at Amendment 20, that second line for Phase 1 and Phase 2, it talks about state only. Is that 640,000 already programmed for something else, or are you looking at that being state funding too? For that's just a little confusing. I just wanted them up on Amendment 20, that second line that's highlighted there. It talks about state funds, but I wasn't sure what was being changed because it shows a federal amount.
James, we just decided that we could modify that in the spreadsheet version and take out the former federal funding and move it into the state column, in addition to what's already there.
Okay,
So
so you're,
the total remains the same, but it's now all from the state.
okay. I'm sure y'all were talking about that, but I think I was looking further down the sheet. So my apologies if we're going
all right.
backwards, but it just got me triggered based on the other conversation. So, okay.
So that's good discussion. Any other things, James, have any other items that?
I don't have anything on this particular,
Okay.
but those were just two that I was going to ask. So,
Okay, good. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, I just want to ask, rather than voting this individually, anybody have objections that we can vote it as a group, which we can do?
And that would be 5 through 15. I'm sorry, 14 on the agenda. 15 is the tip.
The one, I'm sorry.
5 through 14 on
Right.
the agenda.
Okay, all right, that's good. Yeah. So items 5 through 14th on the agenda, no oppositions. So let's do it as a group then. I'll take a motion.
So move.
So move Kevin. Second.
I'll second.
Second, Ryan. Questions, comments? Anybody? Seeing none. Those who vote in favor, please say aye or raise your hands.
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing none, it's approved as a group from items 5 through 14 on the agenda. And then the next item number 15 on the agenda is regarding the tip. I'll have Jan to cut this, talk about it.
Yes. I'm sorry, I only made a handful of copies of this because, and it's just it doesn't include the appendices because it's preliminary. I wanted to minimize the number of trees that had to die for it. So I'm going to ask you guys to sort of look over each other's shoulders.
And sorry for the folks on the screen.
Yeah, and this was sent out yesterday. This is there's a PDF document with the full report. Just wanted to make a couple of notes before you ask questions. There are 2 or 3 projects in the list, which actually went out yesterday around lunchtime, that I want to question you about. And one's for you, Kevin, and one I think is for Ryan. One thing that we sort of hadn't, I asked these questions, but those was one more thing, and I'll get back to you this afternoon via email, but we just want to make sure that what we have there is correct. If you look at can't look at the project list so well in this document because for some reason they decided to shrink everything to like minuscule size, but we'll get back on that. What was that?
I've just got the digital on my.
Oh.
Yeah, when you saving some trees.
Yes, I appreciate that. And I meant to put it on my iPad and then I realized I'd left it at home. Everything else is pretty much the way we usually do it. And that includes the text in the front, and I'll probably update the list of the projects cited because some of them are new. And so that's the other sort of minor editing job to do. And then again, a lot of the appendix doesn't get completed until after the 2 meetings at the end of June because we need to put the minutes in. Today, I'm going to do the first of the public notices that will go into the newspaper. That will go in. So as soon as we have confirmation of publishing. So a lot of that stuff we can't do right away, but the rest of it's here. And I'm starting somebody on maps today, so we'll get those in as well.
Okay, questions, comments on this item? All right, seeing none, we need to vote on this, don't we?
This is a vote to go ahead and publish. This would be next Tuesday. And some of the sort of edits I just mentioned will be done by then. So the version that gets published on Tuesday morning, it will be a PDF like this one, only the full thing, and it will have those changes made. And anything else that you guys want to bring up?
Yeah, when the state releases their multi-year program, and I send you what we have for there, you just add it in to the PDF.
Kind of yes, but it kind of depends on when. If once we start the publication period, Brandon's been instructing me about this for a couple of years now, that has to stay static. I don't know, and maybe we wouldn't be able to handle the state program until after the 2 meetings in June. We've done this before. We've basically issued a revised version of the entire document as an amendment. So this would be, the revised version with the state in it would be amendment number 1, and it would be the full document with all of the projects from the state added in and all of the numbers rearranged.
Yeah, it's okay because the notion for me to have, and we've done lots of public publications of documents. Once we start the public review period and then we add changes, they might be confusing to the public theoretically, because they might look at the document on day 1 and day 30, they didn't know that changes, and they wouldn't have kind of a fair opportunity to review or even know. So that's why we would like to set it, okay, whatever document, so people know, okay, this is document that they should be looking at as a draft and make comments on. That's the reason. Not to confuse the public, and it would defeat the purpose. If we keep changing, then it's not fair from that standpoint.
Yeah, we still have a couple of projects in Bay, I think.
Okay.
So before Tuesday.
Yeah, I said actually not just before Tuesday, but I would need a little time to go ahead and make the revisions, because every project we add, every number we change percolates throughout the entire list. So it's, if you can get to me by first thing Monday morning, we'll try. But other than that, we'll sort of go with what we have, and then when we reach the end of the public review period, then we can I can generate the new version anytime, but we won't be able to sort of get it out there. And it'll just be.
That would be easier just to at the end of the public observance period, make all your changes then. Because then you're just continuing to make adjustments. So wait to the end and do it all at once.
Yeah, good suggestion. Yeah.
And the thing is, it essentially is a comment from District 5 on their program. And so that's why we can treat it at least I think we can treat it as an amendment. If it has to go, well, if we can get it in before the policy committee, that's great. But if not, then we'll just do it a week later.
When this is complete with the entire document, we put it on the web.
As soon as we have it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the preliminary version is draft with any changes that happen in the next 2 days. They'll go onto our website on Tuesday morning.
Okay.
And we're putting a thing in the paper, and there will be 2 additional notices in the paper that sort of emphasize the public hearing to be held at the technical committee and the dates and all the usual stuff. I'm not sure anyone reads those, but we also put them on our website, and I think Katie will probably put them on Facebook or some variant on them. So we'll have a little bit better distribution of it than just the newspaper. And then once we get to the policy committee, whatever they do, whatever they decide, as soon as they're done, we finish it off and send it out to everybody and put it on the website as the final version.
Sometimes I have a hard time negotiating that website.
I know.
So do I need to just contact you if I'm trying to find something I can't find it?
What I'll try and do when I send a copy of the PDF to everyone is sort of show you how to navigate to find it on the website.
Okay.
And it can get a little complicated, but as I said, we haven't had a chance to decomplicate it yet, but we will. In the meantime, I'll look for the shortest path basically and let you know where to find it, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
And what we can do is we can put this. We have learned to put maybe something as timing wise is more critical because the public period. We'll put something on the front page. If people see it, link it, and we can do that. And I know in the longer term we want to revamp our website. But for the short term, we can put something like this tip. I mean, we can easily put it on the front page, and also easy or maybe something on the side. People could click and then directly get to that. Because for something like this, it's like a prescribed time period for people to review the document. We won't have any problem doing that.
And because the policy meeting is a little earlier than usual, it's on the 24th of June, there will be no trouble in getting everything up and posted and ready to go before the end of the fiscal year. So it'll be there.
Good discussion. Any questions, comments? Yeah. Okay, so we still need a vote for item number 15. And that's for the publication with the edits as discussed, and will be published, saying that on Tuesday through June 22nd. And so I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Okay, Ryan. Second, Jerry. And discussion, comments, the motion. Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, seeing none. So item number 15 has been approved. Number 16,
We just did.
we kind of did, but 16 is informational, doesn't require a vote. And so, but anybody else questions, comments on item 16? Okay, seeing none, number 17, that which may arise. Any questions, comments?
Ray, I got a couple things if I may.
Yes,
This is
please.
James. I don't know if Ray, if you was able to sit in or other members there yesterday. U.S. DOT Office of Secretary had a Reconnecting Communities pilot program webinar yesterday, and I wanted to highlight that. And one of the key elements was eligible type projects were studies, and I know McLean County region, this MPO has been really popular trying to go after different types of grants in the past, and I know you got one here recently, so just wanted to propose that. There'll be more guidance coming out. There's a place on the website where you can subscribe. So as I've mentioned at other MPOs, I think Bloomington, Normal, and this MPO has really set themselves at a really good position with all the funding sources that are going to be coming available. There's just so much that's coming out, and sometimes y'all may see it before we do. I don't know, but anyway, I just wanted to highlight that I've mentioned this in Decatur and Springfield. I think this is an opportune time for y'all to really start going after some of these discretionary grants as they come out. And just, it can provide you a really good opportunity for studies. There's some capital type improvements that you might be eligible for based on the guidance that will be coming out. So I just wanted to really encourage your members there to really think about trying to look at some of these. I know with increased funding with this build program, for rural areas, that's really a big area that's this administration's pushing for equity, disadvantaged communities. I think y'all have really started leading the way in this area of the state. And I just wanted to encourage you to kind of continue that with your efforts to go after some of these grants. So the only other issue I have the only other item is we have our planning review cycle coming up for this particular MPO. And Jennifer, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was for July the 22nd, but I was wondering possibly if we could possibly do the 21st to do the actual discussion with you and the staff there at the MPO, and then we can meet separately with the, which I think would be the policy committee, or the joint committee, or however you would like to do it on the 22nd.
Okay.
And so
I don't have a
couldn't
problem,
okay.
but we'd have to check calendars on that.
Yeah.
I thought I thought that was the day that we had kind of set aside originally through
I
conversation.
think it was, if I recall correctly, last time it was set is like in the summer, but we did not have a date.
Okay.
It's kind of general, but kind of general time frame.
Okay. Yeah. We'll look at calendar. I mean, I'm I'm open to different dates, but I just wanted to make sure that we get that kind of, and we can coordinate that offline too. But
Okay.
I just wanted to remind about the cycle for that, and that'll be kind of this summer, sometime in July,
Yeah.
or August if we need to do that based on calendar availability. So those are the two big items I wanted to mention, and then if you had any questions, I'm happy to try to pass them on to Jennifer. So.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
you're
thank
welcome,
you so
Jennifer.
much. Yeah, thanks, James. Yeah, July 21st, 22nd. Yeah, at this quick glance, it should work okay.
Okay.
Unless James could take a vacation.
Not in July.
And but yeah, why don't we just tentatively, and that would match with the policy committee schedule. We'll make ourselves available on the 21st. So let's do it, July 21st and 22nd. And then if it needs to be changed, even at your end, yeah, feel free to let us know too. If you need to change it to August, that should be fine. We'll work around whatever you have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. And then in terms of the grant, the reconnecting committees grant, yeah, I signed up yesterday, but I had a conflict, so I'm going to watch the recording. Great. Also, we got some notices and want to have a better understanding. And we appreciate really USDOT or Federal Highways. They've been since doing all this like pre-announcement, pre-novo webinars. I think that's really helpful. Rather than having just like a month or 2 months to work on a grant application. Sometimes more than one at the same time. This allows this pre-novo webinars, informational, though nothing really finalized on the novos, but I think it is helpful, at least for us, for our NPO, to then we can start thinking, we can start talking with our partners and to see if there's something we should go for, is there enough interest, and sometimes it requires local matches, and so yeah, we really appreciate all this like a pre-novo webinars.
Yeah, that was one of the key elements, Ray, was it is an 80-20, I believe, so there will be a local match for this particular program. But I know y'all are drinking from a fire hydrant with a straw right now with all these NOFOs that are going out between Rays, between Scenic Byways had a NOFO went out. I mean, there's, I've had to have multiple straws in the same cup trying to drink out of the same fire hydrant because it's coming out at rapid pace, and it's so as soon as if y'all have questions throughout that process, I'm happy to try to work with you. But I just think y'all have really positioned yourself in a good place. Y'all have a lot to offer there in Bloomington and Normal. So I appreciate y'all's work in the past on these studies and different things. And I know other regions are starting to do some really good bike studies. They're doing housing studies. They're doing different things with the PL funds. But this opens up the door with a larger amount of cash flow that you can have that will be federal participating. So just wanted to highlight those, and thanks so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. We'll be, after we have a better understanding of this reconnecting community program, we'll talk with our local partners and see, if there's interest, because like James was saying, there's some capital money. So we want, like he said, the rural areas, that might be something we to think about. And also there's and I think that is the 3 local governments aware of it. The Safe Street for All program, there's another federal grant program that we're looking into and considering. We'll reach out to you all. There's a lot of IDOT, but then also on the federal level. So that's something also really exciting to know that feds, on the safety side in this national grant program.
And it's multimodal. I think that's the other aspect, is there's a lot of things that y'all can consider, different modes and those type of things. So it's not just I know it's Federal Highways talking about it, but USDOT covers a lot of different modes. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to look at. So just wanted to highlight that, especially for equity. They're really highlighting equity and rural. So those are things that that y'all might be able to demonstrate and seize upon. So climate change, those type of things, they're really highlighting a lot of that in their new strategic objectives that just come out. So resiliency. So not to take up too much of your time, and but those are, like I said, all this is coming out a lot at the same time. So I appreciate our IDOT partners being available too. So
no, thank you so much. Yeah, like I told the staff that this is kind of unique, maybe once in a generation opportunity, for planners, engineers, we have all this federal money, and to use it wisely. I know it's competitive. We'll do our best, and as James suggested, we've done our good work and is in a good position to just look at what would we need, and then we can all work together and then go after those opportunities. So thanks, James. I just want to, some of you may know this, but I think it's good to kind of keep this committee updated. Our Metropolitan Long-Range Transportation Plan, and some of you are on the committee, the project steering committee. We had a meeting, our monthly meeting with that committee is the third Wednesday. So for this month, it was 2 days ago. And yeah, the project is on track. We have focus group meetings, 3 as a matter of fact, the latest one being the pedestrians and cyclists, right? And so the next focus group that we'll try to organize is for commerce and freight. We're looking into maybe early part of June for the focus group meeting. So we are doing preparation for that. And we are on staff also working on the draft for some of the chapters. So just want to give everybody kind of a status update on that process. We're still on track to have the draft documents done, I think like July, June timeframe.
Towards the end of July, because we want the beginning of August to be available to our tech and policy committees to review what we're calling the final draft at this point. And that will be, like today with the tip, that will be in advance of approval for publication, which would start at the end of August for our 45 days and run through the middle of October. And then in October, once again, the tech and policy committees would look at final approval.
Right. So so just want to kind of give you apprise what's going on in this committee as well as the policy. I just want to make sure people understand what's going on. And I appreciate the time. There's many of you sitting on the committee as well too with us. Okay, questions? Any other items people want to bring it up to discuss?
I got a couple.
Yes. Okay, please, Dan.
So last week, the county engineers all had a meeting here in Normal, up the Uptown Center and Marriott, and Brian would let me go to the first 2 days, so I got to go to the breakout meeting that IDOT holds every year in the spring and fall, and they hit on us on a couple of points that I thought we probably ought to bring across today. So one of the points they brought across was the COVID relief supplements that you were given. For the most part, those are on track with everybody in this, all the agencies in this room. I think we pretty much got a good handle on where we're spending that COVID funds at. So I think I may have less than $200,000 I got to figure out what to do with out of the 2.5 we were given for a district. So that's good.
You looking for volunteers?
Looking for volunteers. Yeah, so you guys are all doing well in the COVID relief supplement department, so thank you. Another one they hit on us was the RBI funds. It's the equivalent. It's basically MFT, but relabeled as Rebuild Illinois funds. I think they're predicting that the next supplement will come out sometime this late spring, summer. but they never tell us. So we just find out when you find out that they're out there. But they're very concerned that only about 33% of that's been spent out of the 300 million that's out there. And they really want us to get on that because that does have a sunset date. So if you don't use your RBI funds, they will expire and you won't get them. You'll lose them. So definitely try to keep track of those. And then lastly, in my realm of the federal realm, the STU and STR funds, I realize on the big charts that Jennifer makes that we're like just a little sliver over here on the side compared to the locals and everything, the state funds. But I was able to fill up the FY23 annual program. I feel real confident about FY24, but when we get into 25, 26, and 27, Jerry's been doing a real good job of throwing jobs out there for me to look at. But they really want us to get those programs. So even if you throw a cost estimate on it and throw me the job, we really like to see some more out there. They kind of want us to fill that up so that we definitely don't want the feds to think that we don't have projects to do. And that's what I see. So they really want us to throw some more jobs out there. Now's a good time to think about it because after we get this approved, this what do you call this? Publication approved and get it out there, we can start adding projects out to the wazoo and hopefully fill up those other 3 programs. Obviously that makes more work for me, but I guess I need to be asking for more work. So if you could tell me some projects, that'd be great. And then when I have to actually program those projects in December and January of this coming year, most of my job will be finished and I'll just have to get some updates from you guys on cost estimates.
Hey, Dan, do you think you could send the summary sheets that you send out every once in a while kind of shows our new allotments and everything with
I
increase?
meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, and I do create those in February because we got the FY23 allotment in January some time frame. So I created those. I did send them to everybody, but I think I got them to all the county engineers. I sent it to the MPOs. Those haven't changed much, but I tried to send you a second update in July.
Okay,
So
that's fine.
all I got to do is go back to our database, make sure everything matches, and then send you those reports again. So that is upcoming here within a month.
Okay, that's fine. I probably have them back from February. So
Some of the rural local agencies didn't get anything, but I usually call and ask, so I give it to them then. So, but that's all I got. I just wanted to make a request for more projects if you guys got them.
All right. You heard that, right? You all heard that. Good time. No, thanks for bringing us.
Yeah.
You're up to speed on that. Yeah, sometimes it's better to have more money that we can. I'm sure we have more projects that we can get paid for, but at least one and totally not enough money. So it's a good problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is a good problem.
All right, good. Anybody else got any things to talk about? All right, seeing none, our next scheduled meeting, June 17th, and that will be when the public reviews actually is not done until 22nd.
Right.
So we'll give you all an update also.
Right. As you all know, we have a very tight schedule on getting the TIP process, so that's kind of why there's this weird little overlap. But given the calendar, it's the best we can do.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll entertain motion to adjourn today's meeting. Okay, and second by Jerry. Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you all, those in person, also on the screen.